Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Cubs lost to the Rangers here on opening night, 4-3 in 10 innings. Very entertaining game, and I look forward to talking about it and walking you through it. Some interesting things happened, and it was just really nice to watch regular season baseball. Um, Everybody played hard. Every at bat was intense. It was just really entertaining and a great brand of baseball. So we'll start with the gut punch. I'll give it to you right away. Justin Steele left the game in the fifth inning with what looks to be a hamstring injury, and it looks a little more than mild to me. Justin was trying to field a bunted ball down the first base line, ran over, going pretty quick, gloved it, transferred it to his left hand, and made the pitch. And it looks like he just got off a little bit. Well, he goes down in a heap, grabbing the back of his left leg. And it looked like a hamstring initially. He was wincing pretty hard. He knew he was done. You could tell when he was laying there. It wasn't like, maybe I'll walk this off. He was done. And they later confirmed that it is a hamstring injury. So, guys, it looks like we've lost our ace for the near term. I'm not going to put a number on it, but he won't be back next week. It's going to be a while, and it's a shame because he was pitching well, and I'll give you his numbers and we'll talk about that. But I'm still not over it. I'm a little upset still, even though it happened in the fifth inning. But here was the lineup: Ian Happ led off in left field. Say was in right field hitting second. Belly in center hitting third. Christopher Morel was in the cleanup spot, but he was DHing tonight. Dansby Swanson was at shortstop hitting fifth. Michael Bush, first base, hitting sixth. Nico, second base, hitting seventh. Nick Madrigal got the start at third base, hitting eighth. And Yan Gomes was behind the plate in the 9-hole. And when I first saw the lineup, I was a little surprised that Morel was DHing and Madrigal was at third. And then the more I thought about it, because I really just expected Morel to be penciled in, right? That's sort of what they've been talking about. I think maybe he was protecting Morel. Justin Steele's pitching, right? And I think there were 7 righties in the lineup, and I think Counsell was thinking it could be a case where Morel just sort of gets peppered a little bit down there. And I think maybe he wanted to protect him from getting off on opening night with maybe some third base jitters, having a few balls hit at him hard, and maybe just keeping him from having a really sort of a bad night at third base and losing his confidence. I don't know, but Madrigal started at third base, and I was just surprised by that. So we lost 4-3 in 10 innings, and we ended up with 6 hits. So we didn't hit the ball a lot. We walked 5 times, struck out 8. We scored in the second inning. We scored again in the 6th, and then we scored the other one in the 9th inning. In the second inning, Christopher Morel led the inning off with a triple, and it was off the wall. He hit one off the wall in left field and legged it out. Got a good jump, kept running hard, legged a triple out. And then Dansby came up, sacrifice fly that he hit pretty well the opposite way, scored Morel. So Cubs are up 1-0. We got another run in the 6th inning. Seiya Suzuki lined a hard line drive double, and Belly followed him up with another double. And what was interesting about it is there was 2 strikes on both of them, and just really good at bats. Then the run we got in the 9th inning was really interesting. So we're in the 9th inning, and it's tied 2-2, and there's 2 outs. Bush walks, Nico walks, so it's first and second. Then Mastrobuoni pinch hits for Madrigal, and he's up. And what happened was Mastrobuoni foul tipped one that caused the catcher to miss it. And it was low, so the catcher's glove was palms up, and Mastrobuoni just ticked it a little bit, and so it clicks off the catcher's glove and goes trickling away. Catcher believes that it's a foul tip. Umpire called it, no, it was live. So Bush keeps coming. So Bush is on second base, and he takes third but then he notices that the catcher is arguing with the umpire about the fact that it was tipped, which it was. Well, oh, missed the call. And Bush just keeps coming. So Bush actually steals home is sort of how the way they'll call it. So that's how we scored the 1 run in the 9th inning for our 3rd run. So let's talk about what everybody did. Happer tonight went, well, he didn't have the best game. Ian finishes the night going 0 for 4 with a walk. Seiya Suzuki went 1 for 5, but he looked really good. He grounded out in the 1st inning in his first at bat. He hit a line drive off the pitcher's foot, and the pitcher picked it up and fielded it. And he doubles in the 6th, so he goes 1 for 5. But he hit the ball pretty well tonight. Belly ended up going 1 for 3 with a walk, RBI double. Christopher Morel, you know, I feel pretty good about the lineup. The timing tonight wasn't great. So Christopher Morel gets 2 hits, triples off the wall in the 2nd inning, singles line drive in the 4th. But he had an at-bat in the 10th inning with the bases loaded and off of David Robertson. And he hit a screamer down the left field line that hooked foul probably by just maybe 5 feet. So Christopher Morel missed a grand slam tonight by just about 5 feet. So he looked really good. Dansby goes 0 for 5 tonight. Michael Bush went 1 for 2 with a couple of walks. Nico goes 0 for 2. He got hit by a pitch and he walked, so he reached a couple of times. Madrigal 1 for 3. Nick had a double in the 7th. Mastroboni came in, had that 1 at bat, flew out to center. He goes 0 for 1. Gomes comes in and goes 0 for 3 tonight. And Gomes had a really rough strikeout. He struck out in the 7th inning with 2 outs and runners on 2nd and 3rd. So that was kind of tough. Garrett Cooper came in a pinch hitting role, and he struck out looking on a 2-seam sort of backdoor comeback, or David Robertson. Really nasty pitch. I can't blame Coop. It was just a really good pitch. It was a pitch that Robertson hadn't really shown. We didn't know he had it. So that's kind of where we were. But the lineup looked like it had potential at any point in time. Like I think the first 4 or 5 guys after Ian hit the ball over 100 miles an hour exit velocity. So we came out looking pretty good, but we just didn't get timely hits. But I'm not all that upset about it. I feel like offensively we looked like we were sort of ready to explode maybe any time, but we ended up just getting the 3 runs, 6 hits on the night. So lost opportunities, had a couple of at-bats that didn't go our way. So Justin Steele starts, and he goes 4 2/3. And in that 4 2/3, he struck out 6, 67 pitches. So I'm not going to say he was dominant. It took him 24 pitches to get through the first, then just 11 in the second, 8 in the third. So, and then it was in the 4th inning when he injured his hamstring. But Justin Steele looked fine. In fact, watching Justin play and the way that our lineup hit the Rangers in the first 2 to 3 innings there, I really felt like we had the upper hand. I liked my pitcher better. Rangers had Evaldi, but I thought Justin was better. And I felt like our lineup looked confident. And I was like, okay, I feel like we got the upper hand here. And then Justin goes down. And it really kind of, the cloud covered us a little bit after that. So he goes down in the middle of the 5th inning. Merriweather comes in and gets the next out. Then in the 6th inning, Yency Almonte comes in, and he gives a home run up to Adolis Garcia. And it was, he had Adolis down 0-2. And Yency was throwing that sweeper. Well, he ended up hanging on to that sweeper and misses wide by 1.5 feet. And he sort of lost command of it. And he goes to full. And then it was time to come back with a fastball. And he stayed with that sweeper. He probably threw Adolis. I'm going to count 4 or 5 sweepers in a row. And on that last one, he just hung it. It was a cement mixer, just right, bell-tied middle, and Adolis didn't miss it. So that the home run given up by Yancey was big in the 6th. Mark Leiter Jr. came in. Mark had a good outing. He goes an inning and 2/3, 3 strikeouts. Then Hector Neris comes in the 8th, pitches out of a little bit of trouble, giving up nothing. He gave up a hit, a walk. He had a strikeout, and Nico had a throwing error in the inning that Neris pitched around. And then Adbert came in and had a close situation. This is probably the most disappointing thing. Is we're up 3-2, 9th inning. Adbert's in, time to close it out, and pinch hitter Jankowski hits a home run off of him first at bat. So kind of disappointing. So Adbert gives up a solo home run to blow the save in the 9th inning. Disappointing. And then yeah, we had some opportunities late and just didn't capitalize on it, and couldn't push a run across in the 9th. And then Drew Smiley came in pitching the 10th and gave up the 1 run. So a little walk-off action in Arlington tonight. So that's what happened. Cubs lost 4-3 to the Rangers. Rangers are good, obviously. You know, World Series celebration. I thought we showed ourselves pretty well. It's going to be interesting to see who comes up. Probably, I'm going to guess Wesneski. I haven't heard anything about it, but my first guess is that Wesneski's probably on his way. Maybe he hadn't even left yet. So, but Steele's going to be out for a little bit. We'll have to wait and see what they tell us. But in my mind, he's probably out for at least 6 weeks. Looks like to me, maybe more. So that's the final. But baseball's here. Cubs look good. I like their lineup. Bush, I thought, looked good, and I think it's going to be fun. You know, we got to get Happ going. We kind of got to get Nico going. Nico, Happer, even Dansby, kind of the same thing that we left off in spring training. Those are the guys that I was talking about in spring training. Wasn't quite there, and it seems like they're not. So we need to get Happ, Nico, and Dansby going, and I think everything else is going to be fine. And they'll come. They'll get there. Ian had a really good at bat late. I think he had a 9 or 10 pitch at bat where he ends up flying out. So he started to look a little bit better. But Dansby's 0 for 5. That was hard. And you know, Nico just he's not quite right still. So we'll root for those guys to find it here sooner rather than later. So we're off tomorrow. We got game 2 of the 2024 season on Saturday against the Rangers. We'll reboot. We'll reset. And we'll get it straightened out. So thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. I really appreciate you joining me. We'll see you next time. Go Cubs, go.